In recognition of Save the Frogs Day, celebrated on April 28th of each year, this week's Ethical Dilemma in Science examines biowarfare. Should we use viruses to save the frogs? Frogs play an important role in the environment by feeding on crop pests, mosquitoes, and other insects. However, frogs face a global pandemic caused by a Chytrid fungus infection that eventually causes heart failure and death. This fungus, which has spread extensively since the late 1990s, is estimated to have caused the decline of over 500 amphibian species and may have caused 90 extinctions. In April 2024, scientists from the University of California, Riverside published research on a recently discovered virus that infects the fungus and could be used to control these fungal infections, potentially saving amphibian populations. In this video, we will examine: what is the role of frogs in the environment? What happens if frogs become extinct? And how can harmful pests be controlled? Stick around to the end of this video when we learn if the use of viruses to kill pests is a theory or if we are already using viruses to control pests. What is the role of frogs in the environment? Frogs are an important part of a healthy ecosystem's food chain. As tadpoles, they eat algae and can control harmful blooms that poison fish. As adults, frogs eat many insects that are harmful to plant growth. They are also a food source for a variety of predators that depend on small animals for food. From a scientific point of view, frogs are important indicators of pollutants in an area. As amphibians, they have a thin, moist skin that can absorb bacteria, chemicals, and other contaminants, so a loss of frogs in a region can be an early indicator of damage to the environment. Scientists are also studying frog secretions for their medicinal properties. A chemical isolated from poison dart frogs was studied as an effective painkiller, estimated to be 200 times more potent than morphine without the risk of addiction. The natural molecule has toxic side effects, so scientists are now attempting to synthesize related molecules as a potential non-addictive pain medication. What happens if frogs become extinct? If frogs die off in a region, their place in the ecosystem interactions is left open. Organisms that depend on them as a food source may experience a decline, but in most cases, predators of the frog will feed upon other organisms. However, frogs which feed on a variety of insects, so that without these frogs to keep their numbers in control, the insect population can increase dramatically and threaten plants, livestock, and humans. It's important to realize that even if the species survives elsewhere, a localized species extinction can have dramatic and devastating effects in the immediate region. How can harmful pests be controlled? In our modern world, we often turn to chemical pesticides to kill or control insects, fungi, or weeds that are deemed to be pests. For this video, we're going to focus in on insects. These chemical insecticides are often indiscriminate and kill helpful or harmless insects in addition to the pests being targeted. In addition, many of these synthetic chemicals can accumulate in the environment and contribute to human health effects such as skin irritation, headaches, or nausea. In extreme circumstances, these chemical insecticides can cause decreased fertility and cancers. Because of the harmful and in some cases deadly consequences of using these toxic chemicals to control pests, there is an interest in using less damaging and in some cases natural processes to control pests. In nature, there is a delicate balance between predator and prey. The insect populations are controlled by animals that feed upon them. Ladybugs are natural predators of destructive aphids that feed on a variety of plants. A single ladybug can eat 50 to 60 aphids per day and up to 5,000 aphids during its lifetime. In addition, the ladybugs can also feed on a variety of other insect pests, so many organic farmers and others have used aphids as an effort to control aphid outbreaks. While natural predators can control some pest populations, this is not always possible for widespread outbreaks or infestations of invasive species. Gypsy moth caterpillars are among the most destructive of invasive species. These caterpillars feed on leaves, causing extensive defoliation that can kill trees. An effective biological treatment for gypsy moths involves spraying with a soil bacteria, Bacillus thuringiensis. The bacteria are eaten by the gypsy moth caterpillars, and then the bacterial toxins cause stomach paralysis, stopping the caterpillars from eating and causing death within a week. These bacteria only kill lepidopteran caterpillars, so specifically target winged insects, including the gypsy moths, as well as butterflies and moths. Interestingly, these bacteria also serve as a model for genetically modified crops that are more resistant to insect damage. Some commercial crops, such as corn or cotton, have been genetically engineered so that they produce the same toxin produced by these bacteria, the Bacillus thuringiensis bacteria, providing them with the ability to produce their own insecticides to protect them from insect damage. Another form of biological insecticide is to use special fungi that target pests. Much like the fungus infecting frogs, fungi are organisms that feed on organic material, including dead materials such as decomposing fallen leaves to release nutrients, or growing and feeding upon living organisms. A variety of myco-insecticides, basically insecticides that use a fungal component, have come on the market over the last 25 years. When applied, these fungi can grow on insect pests and eliminate whiteflies, aphids, and mites. As we consider the ethical dilemma in science for this week, please leave your comments below on whether or not we should use viruses to kill one organism to save another. To consider the main question of whether we should use biological pathogens such as bacteria, fungi, or viruses to control pests, here are some additional prompts to get the thought process or discussion going. How do you decide if an organism's harms outweigh its benefits enough to kill it? In the continuum of pest control strategies, from harmful chemicals to natural predators to using pathogenic microorganisms such as bacteria, fungi, or viruses, is there a line that should not be crossed? And finally, if we are going to use pathogens such as bacteria, fungi, or viruses to control pests, does it matter if the pathogen is naturally occurring or if it has been genetically modified to be more effective? The focus of this week's ethical dilemma in science is whether or not we should release viruses in order to kill chytrid fungi and save the frogs. Is this type of biological control science fiction, or is it a scientific fact that is in use today? Baculoviruses are insect-specific viruses found naturally in the environment, in the same regions as the insects they infect. These baculoviruses generally attack flying insects like butterflies and moths, with strains of the baculovirus targeting specific insect species. The United States Forest Service has been using a viral spray composed of these baculoviruses on large areas of North American forest to control spongy moth caterpillar populations in order to prevent extreme defoliation and tree death. Throughout the world, other baculovirus strains are used to control specific insect pests. So does this additional information change your view on whether or not we should use viruses to kill one organism to save another? In the description below is additional information, references, and soon a link to a lesson plan to accompany this video. If you enjoyed this video, please like it and subscribe for more conversations on the ethical impact of science and technology on society. Until next time, stay curious and be informed.